We are moments away from the end of the 2023-2024 season. Some might consider this the worst year for the NFL, mostly because people think it's rigged or just bad reffing, or teams that we thought were going to make the playoffs didn't. But that being said, there were good things that we need to talk about. That's why, as always, like we did last year, we are presenting our own awards for the NFL honors, from the best players to the best game to the best plays, and who we think is our MVP. And of course, you want to stay to the end because we will finally give our predictions for Super Bowl red. Because both teams have red in them.
Day red.
I hate the Super Bowl. Greetings, everybody. I'm Voice of Reason. Join me as always for the Haymakers is Nikki V and Leah. Welcome to our NFL honors.
The only ones that truly matter.
Yes, because we have more categories. We like to make fun of the NFL.
Haha. Suck it, everyone that's not us.
All right, so this is our. Okay.
I would have to say though that that I'm terrible. What's their name again? What's the collective name of you three, the Baldman?
Oh,
and,
the Clickbait Sports.
Clickbait.
Yes. Their awards will hopefully be good as well.
Yes. Clickbait slash dumpster fire.
Yes, I could see them doing good awards as well.
Mm. All right. And so we have a lot of stuff to get through. We have each have our own picks. A couple of us agreed on certain ones. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with Offensive Rookie of the Year. Nikki, your Offensive Rookie.
I got Puka Nacua.
Ooh, good pick.
Dude only set the record for most receiving yards and receptions by a rookie. No big. Like, it's crazy how Matthew Stafford has been the catalyst for Calvin Johnson's best years, Cooper Kupp's best years, and now he's got a new guy. Like, remind me again why more people aren't talking about Stafford as a future Hall of Famer?
I do not know.
Has he still not overcome the Stat Padford jokes?
I don't know.
I like Puka.
Yeah, so do I. Leah, who is your Offensive Rookie of the Year?
That would be Sam Laporta.
Yes.
The Detroit Lions.
Tight end, bold. I like it.
Yes, because reasons being, he broke at minimum 3 records for not just rookies but tight ends in general for the Lions, which is pretty good. I could see him being if he keeps this up, he is definitely in consideration for like top 10 tight ends ever.
Yeah.
Because all you need to be a good tight end is decent yards, decent touchdowns.
Yep.
That's about it.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to be in the same league as Kittle and Kelsey in a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
I think he might already be there.
Fair enough. As for me, I think it's kind of obvious, but Mr. Him himself, CJ Stroud.
Fair.
I mean, isn't that obvious if all three of us came up with different answers?
Well, each of them have good reasons for it. Puka Nacua breaking the receiving record. Sam Laporta probably being one of the most reliable tight ends in the league. And now I
will say Laporta might be the best rookie tight end ever.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't name a better one. Maybe Jeremy Shockey's rookie season.
Tight ends usually take a season or two to get into a groove.
Right. Well, did Antonio Gates come to it right away, or did he have to adjust?
He had time to adjust. You have to remember he played basketball in college.
Right. But anyway, CJ Stroud. let's see. Let's look at his stat line. Over 4,000 yards passing. Let's see. Averaged around 273 yards a game. 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Has had a QB rating of 100. Made it all the way to the divisional round. Pretty much showing up everybody in the AFC South. And oh yeah, he broke the Ohio State curse.
That's true. Finally, a good Ohio State quarterback. Man, I wish I knew what that felt like.
You never know. He might get there.
He might get there. I still have some hope.
All right. Yeah, those are our picks for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Let's move on to Defensive Rookie of the Year. This might be a little contentious about our picks. Mine's a little odd, but only just to rub it into Tom Grassi's face. It's Brian Branch.
I remember when Brian Branch just slipped through his fingers the draft stream where he was in, and he missed it, or the Packers missed it, and it was just good. Yes, let the hate flow through you.
Yep. As a rookie, got 13 passes defense, 3 interceptions, one for a pick 6, one forced fumble. I didn't have the most passes defended. In fact, not even for rookies, because I think one of you has that, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Whenever I think of this guy's when I think key safety positions, he was the top rookie safety. So Brian Branch for the win. All right, Leah, your pick for defensive rookie.
I wasn't sure on this, so I just went with people who were on a list and such. I went with Jalen Carter.
That is a good pick.
That feels like the safe pick for it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the odds-on favorite for it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his current stats.
4.0 on sack, a handful of tackles, defensive touchdown, and 2 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yep.
No complaints.
Yeah, no complaints. But going back to what I said earlier about passes defense, Nikki, your pick for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, at first I thought I was doing this because it's a big old because I'm a big old homer. But then I thought about it more, and I'm just nah, this dude was fucking great, and I shouldn't have to apologize for it. It's Tyreek Stevenson from the Bears. I don't know where the Bears suddenly became lockdown corner central, but with Jaylon Johnson on one side and Tyreek on the other, these guys were crushing it at the end of the season. Let's see here, 86 total tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, which I believe led all rookies, even ahead of Pro Bowler Devin Witherspoon.
Yep.
And 16 passes defended, which was tied for 5th in the league. Not just among rookies, among everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Dude was really good, especially towards the second half of the season. But because the Bears are pretty much anonymous, I don't feel like anybody really noticed. DJ Moore didn't even get invited to the Pro Bowl. This is bullshit.
I agree. Freaking Garrett Wilson didn't get invited to the Pro Bowl.
I know.
But Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner did.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Jaylon Johnson made the Pro Bowl as well, but I think he was the only Bear.
Okay. All right. So that's our defensive rookies. Now it's time to move on to the positions that matter. Not on the field positions, but off the field position. Coach of the Year. Yes.
Ooh, can I go first, considering you two?
Yes, of course. Leah, your pick for Coach of the Year.
Now this may be blasphemy as a Bears fan, but I've picked Dan Campbell because he's taken the Detroit Lions from a terrible team to an actual competitive team.
Yeah. Campbell turned around the culture in just 3 years.
Oh yeah.
And this year was where everything's just started to come together and is starting to like actually have momentum and actually win a lot of games, which is sad because now the Lions are good and the Packers are still good. So that means we're either coming for third or fourth again.
Yeah, it'll be third or at least third, because the Vikings are going to be ass for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Get hype.
Right. Now, so Dan Campbell absolutely turned it around, but there also is another coach that turned things around, probably in a quicker time, and that's mine and Nikki's pick, DeMeco Ryans of the Texans.
It is astounding how quickly, like the Texans turned it around. Like, because not only should DeMeco Ryans probably win Coach of the Year, like if we were doing GM of the Year, I would probably end up giving it to Nick Caserio, because like they've built a really good team, kind of out of nowhere over there.
Honestly, the fact that Caserio went aggressive in the draft, like trading up with the Cardinals to get the third pick to get Will Anderson, was an early sign that they mean business and they might actually compete. We didn't think that at the time. It's like they're just being bold. No, they're actually trying something.
Yeah, and I remember at the time when it happened, people were just like, "This is either going to be amazingly good or it's going to get Caserio fired." Yeah. He's not going to get fired.
No, and even so, also getting Tank Dell.
Was
another
third
one. I mean, granted he got hurt, but yeah, but hey, he'll be back next year, healthy, hopefully, and so next year's gonna be a 3-way shootout for first place in the AFC South.
Yeah,
a lot of divisions are gonna be like down to the wire. I've noticed.
Yeah, because like if Jacksonville figures things out with Trevor Lawrence and Anthony Richardson has the breakout that everybody keeps telling us that he's going to have, like this is going to be a great year for the AFC South next year.
They could be the AFC North next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, DeMeco Ryans did great. Honestly, after beating the Browns at home in the playoffs, that pretty much seals that guy's going to be Coach of the Year.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Even though Dan Campbell made it further, so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's going to be between those two, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either Dan Campbell or Ryans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next. This is the Good Spirit Award, a.k.a. Comeback Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Nikki, your comeback player.
I got Joe Flacco. And it's kind of amazing because, he came back and was even better than he ever was. Like Joe Flacco, back when he was in Baltimore, was at best a game manager. Mm-hmm. And we don't talk about what happened when he was in Denver. Like, that was a dumpster fire. Or what happened when he was in New York.
Right.
So when Flacco showed up over in Cleveland, I was thinking, this is just going to be like somebody to just keep the ship from completely sinking. But Flacco comes in and turns that offense into something really good.
Something competent.
Yeah.
Mm.
Amari Cooper was busting out 250-yard games. Crazy.
The fact that he did just off the couch and he was ready to go.
Yeah, he barely had time to adjust his sleep schedule, so he was taking naps on the sideline.
But let's also do. I'll follow that up with my pick, who's also another quarterback who had an amazing comeback year, and that is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I honestly don't know who came back from stronger odds, him or Damar Hamlin, because Damar Hamlin died, but Baker Mayfield had to play for the Panthers.
Yeah, here's the thing about Baker Mayfield. Last year he got 2022 season, previous season I should say. He got traded out of Cleveland, his home, into Carolina for essentially draft picks.
Maybe literally, if those Progressive commercials are to be believed.
And what ends up happening? He has awful year, all the year playing in Carolina. Then it gets traded to the Rams because everybody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he had probably one of his worst seasons, only throwing about 2,000 yards. This season, overall passer rating, ninth in passing yards, just above Trevor Lawrence and below C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
And then alongside that, you can tell that like I mentioned this in a stream, like in a couple of episodes way back. Baker Mayfield loves football,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell like he loves the game. And when you see that, when he's absolutely loving the game, he will play to his full potential.
Mm-hmm.
And this is him. This was him at his best. And I think I mentioned also again in that previous cast, this could be a career resurgence for Baker. While he started off on a team that that he started off on as rookie, like he had a lot of potential. He made it to the playoffs for the first time in a while, but then he got hurt, had to be traded away. This could be his new team. Tampa Bay could be Baker Mayfield's team now.
I would believe it.
All he needs is just make sure all the pieces are there. Like, keep Mike Evans, keep Chris Godwin, keep James White. Sorry, not James White. What's the running back for the Tampa?
Rashad White. Rashad White.
Rashad White. Yes, thank you. Keep all those weapons healthy. Get a good tight end in there. Like, I could see another, like, if they play the cards right, Baker Mayfield could bring another Super Bowl trophy to Tampa, and we're not going to complain about it because he's not Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my take on Baker Mayfield being a comeback player.
Indeed.
Speaking of the dead guy, though, Leah.
I picked Damar Hamlin because he died last year, basically.
Strong argument.
He didn't get to do much this year, but the fact that he participated in games and
the fact that he got back to being able to play at an NFL level is really good, because apparently after that sort of thing happens, it takes a really long time to rehab your body back to being to where you were before, especially if that was at a high level athletic.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, I just love that. What was it? Like a couple years prior, Alex Smith came back from the debilitating injury. He almost had to have his leg amputated, and perfectly deserving of comeback player of the year. Damar Hamlin said, "Hold my beer."
The whole argument for him is he died. He dead.
He died. You died.
I got better.
I only died for a little bit.
Only that. I did. Somebody told me what would have happened if Damar Hamlin did that on the Nickelodeon broadcast.
Oh no, they would have cut it. They would have immediately cut it.
Oh yeah. Do you think they would have showed the clip of the big lobster guy trying to do CPR on that guy? This is getting dark.
No.
Very dark.
Yeah.
On to the next category.
All right, next category.
Get me out of here.
Okay, now we talked about our rookies. Now it's time to talk about the veteran players. Starting with Offensive Player of the Year. What's this? We are all in agreement?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our pick, Tyreek motherfucking Hill.
He fast.
He very fast.
He catch a lot, too.
Dolphins offense go burr.
and then they went into Kansas City and they actually went burr.
I mean, anyone would have done that.
Yeah, fair. But still, most receiving yards, most receiving touchdowns, if I'm correct, or tied for most receiving touchdowns. Alongside Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And then, and average. Yeah, looking at his stats of averaging about 112.4 yards per game, along with 652 yards after the catch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was the go-to guy.
Yeah, he probably should have at least gotten a nomination for uh, MVP, but nope.
Mm-mm. Sorry, not happening. All right, but yeah, that's our that was easy. All right, now let's move on to defensive player of the year. This is where it gets a little trickier. Let's see. Leah, you go first.
TJ Watt.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Is pretty darn good.
Let's see. What did he do to here?
19. Let's see. 19 sacks for 122 yards. 19 of those tackles were for a loss.
Also, by the way, that's leading the league in sacks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And also, technically speaking, in defensive touchdowns. Because no one got 2.
2 probably should get you the lead in pretty much any season.
No, everyone got 1. No one got 2.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no one got 2? Okay.
Yeah, he did have 4 forced fumbles. 3 of them were recovered. One was for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
As for me, taking Nikki's pick from last year, and that's Max Crosby.
You stole my bit.
Sorry. Yeah, so 14 and a half sacks, 100 of those were for a loss. I think he had tied for most tackles for a loss with 23. Tie that with Danielle Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And then on his side, just looking at 2 pass defense, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Honestly, whenever I was watching a game with Max Crosby, he was always the guy that was going after the quarterback, just destroying the left tackle, the position.
That definitely, like, he was pretty much the entire Raiders defense.
Anyway, your pick.
Oh, for defensive player of the year, I got Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Dude was the most disruptive part of the best defense in the league. Like, I know that this isn't necessarily a team award, but man, he was like the spearhead of that Browns defense, and they were like amazingly good. So, yeah, I did see a stat earlier that he was like the quickest, like he had the quickest time to like pressuring the quarterback. So like he was able to break through his assignment faster than any other pass rusher in the league. So dude was just crushing this year. And let me see if I can find the stats on him. I had it earlier and then I lost it. Fuck.
14 sacks, 102 yards lost. 17 of those were tackles for a loss. 3 pass defense, 4 forced fumbles, 1 of those for recovery.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think he was also like top 5 in pressures, which is a really hard stat to find. You have to like be subscribed to PFF to get those, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You have to dig deep for that kind of stat.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so that concludes our talks about the good stuff for now. But now let's talk about some stuff that didn't go according to plan. Let's start off with biggest disappointment. And I'll start off with mine, and that's the 2021 QB class.
Yeah, we were told that was like the best quarterback class like ever.
Yeah, and it didn't turn out well. I mean, okay, let's be fair. Like Trevor Lawrence is still like the standout of that class alongside.
We hope.
Yeah. Yeah, but that being said, he did actually regress a little bit. For the 14 interceptions is not looking good compared to 21 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to, say, let's have a look at last year. Yeah, I think he actually went down in QB rating. He had last year I think he had a 95.2 QB rating. This year he went down to 88.5, and those interceptions were killing him.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, it also could be a factor that he was playing hurt, and Doug Peterson kept him in despite playing hurt. So that was also probably one of the reasons why he was the way he was. As for the others, how do I put this? Trey Lance did not play.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones is a fraud.
Big fraud.
Let's see who else before I get to the obvious one.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields had a better year.
He's getting there. Like I am still of the belief that if he has one more weapon, he can be good. But I feel like there's a hole in this ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make an opinion here. I think he would be on the level of a Brock Purdy, or you pick any other recently drafted QB, if he wasn't picked by the Bears.
The Bears do have a tendency to really mess up some young guys. Although I do feel like with how strong this last draft class was for them, that might turn around.
Yeah. But that being said,
a new era.
Yeah. That being said, I still haven't talked about the obvious pick and the obvious one in the room. Oh, God damn it! Zach Wilson was not supposed to play this year.
No, that much was obvious.
Yeah, I mean he had, which is weird because he actually had some really good, he had some really strong games, but strong against KC, absolutely outplayed CJ Stroud at home.
Outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that KC game.
Yep,
that was weird.
Yeah, and also outplayed Jalen Hurts. Most of that was because of the Jets' defense.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he was always constantly running. He was always under pressure. The dude was not supposed to play, but Dwayne Brown happened, and
Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could all pin the Jets' woes on that one sack.
Mm-hmm.
But so the best QB class this year of the QB class of 2021 was supposed to be good, and no,
wasn't.
Mm-mm. Leah, your biggest disappointment?
Lamar Jackson.
Are we talking playoff Lamar or
period Lamar Jackson? You have everything handed to you and you still fuck it up. They built the entire team around him. He got everything he wanted. And he still can't win.
It is getting to the point where it's just okay. Zay Flowers was pretty good. He had a great run game. Although I will say, completely abandoning the run in the playoffs was head scratching.
Yes.
That's if we had a most disappointing coach. Yeah.
I mean, I have a whole team and he has a whole draft class, so feel free to put John Harbaugh on there if you wanna.
I mean, anyway, Jackson, I also think he doesn't deserve of MVP this year.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't lead as far as I remember, he didn't lead the league in anything.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was 15th in total yards.
Quickly to the wiki.
Yep. Only had 24 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Had a 102 passer rating, which isn't the. He
did lead the league in one thing.
Rushing yards.
Rushing average for a QB.
Reasonable.
Which is his only thing.
Mm-hmm.
I see. All right then. But Nikki, your pick for biggest disappointment.
Oh, I gotta go with the Chargers.
Oh yeah.
I legitimately thought, naively maybe, that this team was ready to turn a quarter. They finally had all their wide receivers healthy, and they brought back Austin Eckler and everything. And, like, they made a bunch of big splashing moves on defense, and then nope.
No. Fire Brandon
Everything.
Staley and everything but it did not help.
Yeah, like Brandon Staley just completely borked this team, and then once Justin Herbert got hurt, it was Jover, y'all. It's Jover. Like, man, like those last few games where Easton Stick was throwing the ball for them, that was bad news bears.
Yeah. And they basically just cleaned house too, since Kellen Moore's gone.
Yep. Like, they had to get a whole John Harbaugh to fix, or the whole
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
They had to get a whole ass Jim Harbaugh to fix it.
Yeah, so
Which might work.
It could, but I have my doubts. There's a lot of stuff they have that's going wrong in there. So maybe he'll get some discipline, maybe get something going with Justin Herbert, but I have fairly have my doubts that the Chargers are still going to be last in the AFC West.
Oh, and as always, fuck you, Spanos.
Of course.
Yes.
All right, now let's move on to something regarding to story, like news stories and whatnot. Let's talk about the biggest controversies. So,
we're going to be talking a lot about referees.
Yeah. So let's. Yeah, so I'll start with me, because that's really one of the biggest issues. What is a tackle, and other ref ball scenarios?
What is a tackle?
Because everyone said, oh, what's considered a catch? Like, oh, did he have full control and whatnot? No, this is regarding specifically roughing the passer. Like, what do people what do the refs consider a clean hit? What do people consider helmet to helmet, or in certain cases, who is actually eligible to catch the ball? Looking at you, Detroit
reffing team.
Yeah. So
Decker was eligible.
Yes, he was eligible. So yeah, that's what many people are calling is there needs to be some form of change in the reffing union. Like, they need to be a lot more accurate. They need to do some form of training to make those calls. But more often than not, when they make when everyone says the ticky tacky calls, it can go either way. Other times it's blatantly missed. Good example is, again, in the in the AFC Championship game, most of those calls went to KC. Everyone's saying, and we'll get into this. We'll follow this with Leah's pick. But games where one of the most popular ones was I think it was the last Lamar Jackson interception, where he was trying to throw into triple coverage in the end zone. Blatant pass interference.
No. That wasn't blatant pass interference. He had no way to play for it.
Yeah, because the guy ran into him.
No.
Okay, yeah. All right.
It was if that person didn't run into him and it wasn't picked, it would have been incomplete because it was underthrown.
All right. Okay, fair enough. But even still, was it I know a lot of people even I think even Kirk Benkirk was calling that out, as possible missed pass interference call.
I think a lot of people, when that play happened and shortly after it, by shortly I mean within the next 24 hours, was calling it pass interference because they realized, oh, this is the Super Bowl we're getting. We don't want that Super Bowl. We're going to point at this one thing.
which will also lead into your controversy.
Now, this is a recent one, and I think people are stupid for thinking this.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is rigged. It isn't. It's nearly impossible to rig sporting games, unless it's a very small sporting sport, i.e., boxing or MMA, because then it's just two people. All you need to do to rig a boxing match is to get one person to take a dive. That's a lot easier than getting because if you wanted to rig the NFL, here are the minimal people that would have to know about it. This is the minimum: the commissioner, the referees. You could make a case for the owners.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the issue with that. How many owners recently have been kicked out of the league under where they've been a bit disgruntled afterwards?
Yeah, that's something That's something I was saying. I've said this before with NASCAR. All it would take is one whistleblower to like somebody who was like disgruntled and was never coming back anyway and didn't want to put up with their shit. Cough, cough, Robbie Gordon, cough, cough. And like that whole situation would be busted wide open.
And here's the thing: if they were like, "Here, I have proof. I want to tell the story." Do you know how much money they would make off that?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A lot.
Several.
Yep.
Several dollars.
Yeah. The only rigging is internal. Like whenever you think it's like all the NFL's rigged, like no, like it like Leah
There's
said.
There's a difference between it being rigged and a team saying, I'm going to use a very obvious example here, we're gonna bench you so you don't get more contract money.
Or or classic or going for more classic more classic examples. Two that come to mind: the 1919 Black Sox scandal, and the 2002. I think it's the 2002 Spanish, Special Olympics basketball team.
Yeah, but that's the thing. In both of those examples, it was revealed fairly quickly in the grand scheme of everything that happened.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So even though we say the NFL script the NFL scripted all the the refs have their script, it doesn't work that way.
It's tongue in cheek.
Yes. So everyone was saying that the refs are out there helping the Chiefs, unless something comes out if something comes out saying oh no, the refs were on the Chiefs side this whole time, calm your tits.
Yeah.
Just calm down a little bit. But speaking of things that need to calm down, Nikki,
why is everybody getting fucking fined these days? Holy shit! In the first 2/3 of the season, it felt like every single player who tried to put in any sort of effort were getting fined. I was seeing I think the most glaring example was Jaylen Warren from the Steelers, who got fined for literally just lowering his helmet to try to gain some extra yards, which is something that we normally celebrate, and the NFL constantly shows in that kind of thing in advertising stuff. And then later it came out he got fined his entire game check. He played a game for free.
Yeah.
That was and that was happening almost every single week. Players were being reported that they were getting fined tons and tons of money, and then it very suspiciously stopped. The guy who was announcing all of this, I believe it was the NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, he stopped reporting on it. Very suspicious.
I wish I could get a total here. No, not per team.
I will say, in regards to the total, it was by mid-season, they had already eclipsed the amount of amount of fines from the previous season, like the whole season.
Yikes.
So it was a lot.
I'm just looking up on a website, and unfortunately, they only have like player and team and such. But I think I have the record for the season.
Yeah.
Where was it? I was just looking at it. I scrolled, and it's now disappeared on me. It will not take long to find because it was a big number.
Large number. By the way, while Leah's looking this up, I guess we can mention that the last 2 head coaching vacancies got filled.
Yep, and neither of them are either Mike Vrabel or Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it's weird. Mike McDonald, which is now the 3rd Mike Mix something who is a head coach in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
So I found it. It's an
okay.
Indianapolis player.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For PEDs, Grover Stewart at $3,625,000.
Jesus.
That's probably just
his contract.
Yeah, he got suspended for probably 6 games or something.
That pretty much your contract for the year. Bye-bye.
That is pretty egregious, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
But it is PEDs, so.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's not like unsportsman conduct or low block or something like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't I'm on the NFL operations page. They don't list. They don't list what was thought the highest, for each player, or what was the highest total. I think I saw Quinnen Williams. I think it was week 16 got fined twice. Was it? I think it was was it week 16, week 17? He got fined twice. Yeah, fined twice. One was unnecessary roughness, and then a hit on the quarterback.
Fun fact: I've just checked this. Only 1 week this season had no fines.
Mm-hmm.
Which week?
Week 11.
There were none that.
No.
No. There were still fines, but none were that pronounced.
No, there was none. I'm looking at the stats right now. There was no fines in week 11.
Interesting.
That were announced. They might have just stopped reporting on it, which is what I was getting at earlier.
No, this is coming from. I'm using a website, and apparently it's pulling from official channels.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's getting down to the nitty gritty of they were fined blank 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 blank.
Okay.
They were fined. It has their position, their team, the exact amount they were fined, what they were fined for, and what week.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've just learned it's very rare to get fines in the postseason.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, only one, and it was that unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay. Yeah,
you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have to have Vontaze Burfict type tackling in order to get fined.
Yeah.
You have to do something egregious.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, speaking of egregious, let's move on to my favorite category, the WTF moment. Leah.
Yeah, there was some.
Yes, Leah. Let's start off with you.
I have picked the popular choice, Taylor Swift, and her fan base.
Oh man, the Swifties. I just it's not the Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift this year, was a boon and a boon for the NFL, and then also a curse for the NFL, because on the one hand, you have all these new fans coming. It's like because oh, Taylor Swift is dating this guy from the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, let's buy all of his jerseys and boost and put eyes on the television. On the other hand, you have the diehard NFL fans who are are kind of complaining oh, the game, the focus should be on the field, not the person off the field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when there's nothing going on, it's better than just random footage of the bench.
Yeah.
It's honest. It's on the same level as just pointing the camera at the bench.
Right. Yeah, I would have to imagine that Taylor Swift took up maybe 30 to 45 seconds of airtime per game. Yeah, are we missing that much?
Not really.
The most time I think she was on air was that last game, and that was partly because of the other Kelsey brother.
Yeah, I was about to say Jason Kelsey was definitely the spotlight there, which very impressive, sir. You have successfully you were in the same room as Taylor Swift, and everyone's looking at you.
By the way, he nearly fell over, and it shows how athletic he is that he stuck that landing. Because you see his legs start to slide, and when I saw that I was like, "Oh no!" Because I had this feeling that it was I start seeing his leg move. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna slip and fall over and hurt himself."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will say that Taylor Swift starting to date Travis Kelce has coincided with the Chiefs becoming just the most unlikable piece of shits in the league. So
I think they're not the most unlikable pieces of shit. I think it's partly because of the whole Taylor Swift thing. I think they're getting hate from diehard football fans because of the whole we want to see football, not Taylor Swift.
But they mess with Justin Tucker. Nobody has ever had a problem with Justin Tucker until these assholes.
Exactly.
Lions fans don't even hate Justin Tucker. And he kicked that 66-yard field goal on them. Mm. If you have a problem with him, take a look in the mirror.
Yeah. Speaking of field goals.
Oh, no.
Nikki,
your
WTF moment.
They did it again. We are good at this.
I saw it. I took the advantage. Go for it.
Well done, sir. Well done. It's wide right 2, baby!
It happened again.
You know what? At least with the first one, people don't really talk about the fact that was a 47-yard field goal in 1991 or something?
1991, laces were in. Really hard kick to make even with the laces in.
Yeah, back then, a 47-yard field goal was long. That was right on the edge of field goal range.
Mm-hmm.
To give it a modern context, that would have been a 55-yard field goal these days.
Yeah, with 55-yard field goal with was it Mike or Mark Badgley, the Detroit Lions kicker.
I think Badgley was the last name. I can't think of the first name.
I think it's with Mark Badgley trying to kick a 55-yarder compared to say
yes, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, it's Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to say I'm trying to think kickers in the 90s, Jason Elam kicking a 30-yard Jason Elam kicking a 50-yarder, which is nothing,
mm-hmm.
which was nothing to him.
Yeah. Paul Edinger.
Ooh.
Okay. But yeah,
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Paul Edinger was the Bears kicker for the longest time. I only remember that because I would always play as the Bears, and he was the kicker that was always on the team. Anyway, but yeah, this was a much more makeable field goal in slightly better conditions. I think was that another snow game?
That was technically yes, but the snow was cleared.
Yeah, the snow was cleared and like I think the wind was died down a little bit, so it wasn't. It was an easier field goal, I would say, than Scott Norwood's field goal,
Mhm.
but still, pain. And also this was probably the Chiefs' last great shot to make a deep playoff run with this roster, so
The Chiefs.
danger, Will Robinson.
The
Yes.
Chiefs.
Mhm.
That are in the Super Bowl.
Yes,
I don't get why you're talking about the Chiefs.
I said the Bill. Did I say the Chiefs?
I think he said.
You said the Chiefs.
Oh, the Bills. Excuse me.
I was like, what?
And
Yeah.
Make a
I
deep
mean,
playoff run. They can't. There's only one way they can make it any deeper, and that's the window thing.
Anyway, let's move on to mine. I think this is like might as well quote this. This was the year of the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was injuries, bad play, like there was I think close to like 90 different quarterbacks starting this year.
It was crazy.
Yeah, we mentioned like Zach Wilson wasn't supposed to start this year, but you know the Jets had a rotating amount of people of quarterbacks starting from Aaron Rodgers all the way to Trevor Siemian.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had the the Giant situation where you know Daniel Jones played awful, got injured. Then they had Tyrod Taylor come in. He got injured, so they had to rely on their undrafted free agent Tommy DeVito. And all of a sudden, he's the hero for the New York Giants. Yeah. So this year was not a good year to be a quarterback. high injury rates, bad QB play. It just I have to look to see the actual numbers, like how many quarterbacks started this year. But yeah, that's our WT. That's definitely my moment for this year. How many quarterbacks started this year? Okay, I was a little off. 54 different starting quarterbacks have played, just below the record set the previous year of 68.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that concludes the WTF moment. Now it's Nikki and my turn to talk about play and game of the year. Let's start off with play of the year.
Huh.
I'll do mine first because it was literally the first play that comes to mind, and I still have not gotten out of my head. It's Garrett Wilson playing defense to score a touchdown.
That was pretty sick.
How the hell did he make that fucking catch? It's still going back in my head. Like, Wilson throws in the end zone, he underthrows it. Like Garrett Wilson has to basically play quarterback to bat the ball away from I think Kyer Elam.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a one-handed catch in the corner of the end zone. And he ends up giving the Jets the lead.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty good.
That is probably. I mean, I can think of another one like Cortland Sutton's toe tap, which was by 0.75 inches in. It reminds me of the Zay Jones catch from last year. But yeah, nothing comes to mind for offensive player of the year other than Garrett Wilson's touchdown.
I will say the Brandon Ayuk catch from the divisional round or from the conference championship was a pretty good contender. Like the one that Brock Purdy kind of underthrew and it got batted up into the air.
No,
not batted up in the air, bounced off the dude's face.
Yeah, he overthrew it.
Or overthrew it, excuse me.
Yeah.
Bounced off the dude's face and he caught it for a touchdown. That's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
But I went with Deron Bland's record-breaking pick six, the one he got against the Commanders. And I think that this could also double as call of the year because Jim Nantz was just going hard on that moment.
Mhm.
Like Sam Howell threw the pick, and immediately, like, he was just like, this could be the record. He could get this if he can go. And he just like, and then Deron Bland dodges like 3 defenders on his way to the touchdown, gets the 5th pick six of the year for him, sets the new record. Tony Romo next to him has chills. Like, as a Cowboys hater, that was a damn good play.
Mhm.
I think that last year I had the Justin Jefferson catch as my play of the year. So the last 2 years I have had to go with teams that I don't like. Boo.
Sorry about that. All right, yeah. So that's play of the year. Now it's time. Now let's move on to game of the year. Now that we're only talking about the regular season, we're not talking about the end. Like, we're not going to be including the playoffs this time. I remember we included a couple of playoff games like last year. I think we included like Bills Chiefs one year, and then I think we also did. I did. I think like Chiefs Bengals 1 year after that. But yeah, Nikki, your game of the year.
I'm gonna go with Texans Buccaneers back in Week 9, aka the official C.J. Stroud coming out party.
Right.
Like actually, kind of both the C.J. Stroud coming out party and the Baker Mayfield as a Buccaneer coming out party, because like these were both kind of middle of the road teams when this game happened, I believe. But like they were just putting on a show together, and C.J. Stroud, like I believe, broke the rookie passing yards record in a single game record, and like they were just going shot for shot, and the Stroud won it at the very end with that touchdown late, and it was just like, oh damn, this isn't just like a flashy start or anything. Like C.J. Stroud might be that guy. He might be him.
As for me, I have to go with the offensive shootout. Bills Eagles Week 12. Like constant back and forth on offense. As far as like stats goes, Josh Allen had basically threw the ball out of his mind. 329 for 51 pass attempts. 29 of them successful for 339 yards for 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And then on the other side, Jalen Hurts was 18 for 31, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns with 1 interception. Total yards of offense over 1,000 yards total offense. If I'm getting this right,
I believe you are.
Oh no, it's like no, close to it though. Like 800 is for like, let's see, 883 yards total offense.
Damn.
But it all came down to overtime. Bills kicked the field goal, and then Eagles scored on the insane drive to win it in OT at home. Right? But by the way, Utri pointed this out. The Bills have been in, I think, every greatest game ever that the Bills have been a part of. They were on the losing end.
Right.
So, Bills stop being the greatest game ever. It just went out. All right, that concludes that, and now it's time for the final award. Leah, you can come back in. MVP, Most Valuable Player.
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
All right. I don't think there was a quarterback that deserved the award this year. Like, a lot of the quarterbacks were mid, and the ones that were good were above mid. So, I think that this is the year that they should give the award to somebody who is not a quarterback, just to send the message that it's possible for somebody outside that to get it. And Christian McCaffrey was that guy this year. He stayed healthy this year and was like the most unstoppable player all season. Like, he didn't have any huge dip in production. He was consistently great all season long. Like, cut and dry, give it to CMC. He's the dude.
All right, Leah, your pick for MVP.
I am picking a person who has taken his team to back-to-back conference finals, and in his second year is taking a team to the Super Bowl. I'm taking Brock Purdy.
Not
Now, he has the distinct pleasure of leading the league in a very interesting stat.
What's
average yards per attempt.
Yeah.
Whenever he attempts to pass us the ball, he almost always gets a first down. 9.6 per attempt, not successful reception, attempt. So if he's throwing that ball, it's almost certainly going to be a first down. If not a first down, second in inches. He also has the best QB rating of the year.
Definitely true. It is a question of how much his receivers helped him out, but I am of the opinion that like Purdy does
still
have
be a shit QB.
Hello, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Like it doesn't matter. Like it does help if you got a good O-line in front of you to protect you, but like you can still overthrow it, you can still underthrow it, you can still throw it in terrible ways and get interception. He did get 11 interceptions, but that's like mid pack for NFL. It's rare that people get single digit passes unless you don't pass much.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at a certain person. By the way, voice.
Okay, I had to double think about this because like you did bring up good points about Lamar Jackson. So I'm going with the player that if they were taken out, this team could not. This team could not.
They'd be worse.
They honestly could be worse. And going based on stats, how they did this year, I'm gonna make a lot of people like angry with this pick. So I'm gonna make a lot of people angry, and make one person very, very happy. It's Dak Prescott.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. I'm sorry with as long as Dak Prescott's in behind center in Dallas, like he is MVP. He had honestly one of the best touchdowns to interception ratios, 36-9, 265 yards per game. Third in terms of QB rating at 105.9. Second. I'm not counting Mason Rudolph here. Second in QB rating. And then I think he had, as far as yardage goes, third overall in terms of pass yardage. Like honestly, without Dak behind center, the Cowboys would be nothing. I could also say the same for Jared Goff, Tua, and yes, including and also Brock Purdy. But stats say otherwise. I gotta give it to Dak. Dak is the most valuable player out of all the players here.
I will say last year, Cooper Rush played some games when Dak got hurt and he went undefeated. So,
right.
I don't know if they would be nothing, but I will say that Dak was really good this season. I think he was the most consistently good quarterback. So, I think that if, especially since this is a regular season award, so
right.
Yep.
Okay.
So I would probably go with Dak if I were to take one of the quarterbacks.
Okay.
I do want to say something, and this is directed straight at the Cowboy fans. you can do a lot worse than Dak Prescott.
For sure. Like, if
As
I
a
were
Bears fan, I can tell you, you don't trade away your really good QB.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Alright.
like they if they don't bring back Dak for some reason, they'll find out how quickly it could go to shit.
Right.
Like, I remember those Ugh.
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
I said,
Yeah.
ugh. I remember those years when they had Quincy Carter as their quarterback.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Ooh, yeah.
Anyone remember Chad Hutchinson?
I don't think so.
Good.
Okay. All right.
Oh
So,
yeah, and one last thing. Brock
Yep.
Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant, and he's going to the Super Bowl.
That is pretty relevant of him.
Yeah. So now that that's concluded, it's time to talk about the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that.
Yep. Super Bowl prediction time. Chiefs, 49ers.
I'm really not interested in this game.
The-
They broke me. This is the first time I think in my entire life where like I have had the chance to watch the Super Bowl and I'm just like, no, nah, that I don't owe the NFL my viewership. I can do something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be. I'll put it this way. I'm going to be watching the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah,
I'm
Puppy
gonna be
Bowl does look.
sleeping.
Like and actually Sega got me and got us matching jerseys. I'm Team
Mhm.
Rough. She's Team Fluff.
Huh.
It's adorable. It's an orange jersey. I'll put it on screen as soon as we'll do this afterwards. But
Mhm.
yeah, honestly, the only reason I'm gonna like tune into the Super Bowl this year is not the halftime show, but it's going to be. Ooh, thank you, honey. It's going to be Fan of the Year because I am excited to see. Like again, we're most of us are fans of this one particular YouTuber. He's a big Packers fan. Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna be looking to see if he gets in. I'm also rooting for the Bills guy. I think it's like 25 shirt. He runs a shop called 25. I think it's like 29 shirts. I think it's called. And basically each. I try to remember the exact NFL fan of the year. But yeah, he has a thing. What's the guy's name? It is Del Reed. He runs the Bills Mafia shop, Bills Mafia store right outside of Highmark Stadium, and he owns it's called 26 Shirts, and all those shirts he makes are donate the profits are proceeds that go right to charity.
Mhm.
So I'm rooting for him as well as Tom Grassi to get Fan of the Year. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. See who gets it. But as for who is going to win this year, the Super Bowl, this is a tough one.
The logo, the Super Bowl logo is totally gonna predict who's gonna be in the Super Bowl.
I don't know. Like I'm wishing for a lot of I'm with a lot of Raiders fans. I'm praying for the meteor.
Mhm.
Because it's either new Tom Brady, and we have the new Patriots hoist the trophy again, or I see Nick Bosa hoist the trophy, and I do not want to see that.
Yeah, none of these are
Part of
great.
me wants to see Mr. Irrelevant raise that trophy because that's a cool story.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they make like biopics about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then there's another part of me that wants to enjoy the chaos of Taylor Swift, if like on on the stage, holding the trophy with her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. So.
I guess Niners. I'll take the Niners.
All right.
Feel good moment with the 49ers win. I agree.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Yeah.
As much as I want to see Brock Purdy hoist it, I'd honestly rather have Mahomes pretty much cement his legacy than have Nick Bosa ever touch that trophy.
Sure.
I'm curious. I'm gonna do a quick coin flip. Let's see what the coin has for one last ride.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it has landed on tails. Who's considered the home and away? Who's considered the away team?
Oh
I
shoot.
don't know.
Hang on. Super Bowl home team. They're saying the Chiefs are the home team.
They're picking the 49ers.
All right. Cool.
All right. And that concludes it. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for tuning in to our NFL honors, our Super Bowl prediction, and just tuning in for our little podcast that's been going on for 20 some odd weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully we get some wrestling videos out. I know Leah has got some ideas of her own.
I got some ideas, and that's about it.
I'll probably do some stuff for the NFL draft coming up. I might do a couple mock drafts again this year because those are always fun to do.
Yep, and once that's going, let's go going. I have some other jerseys on our way. Until then, this is the voice of reason. Nikki V and Leah signing out. We'll see you next year.
Bye-bye.